On this episode of Liberating Intelligence, we'll be talking with Tyman Jackson. And he'll be telling his story about how he was falsely accused. Alright, so today on Liberating Intelligence, we're sitting with Tyman Jackson. And for those that don't know you, just give us a rundown on your background and your childhood and where you're from.
Okay. I'm originally from Portsmouth, Virginia. Well, I was born in Portsmouth, Virginia. I was spending part of my childhood in Portsmouth, then mostly in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's where I pretty much did most of my schooling at and everything. Graduated from Deep Creek High School back in 2004. Attended Livingstone College for a brief moment, very brief, and yeah, that's the quick version of,
So did you play any sports in high school?
Oh I most definitely played. So I played football. Football was the only sport I really took into. Ran a little track, wasn't fast at all. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I just ran track to get ready for football. You know what I mean?
And I remember an injury that you had in middle school. How did that? Could you tell us about that?
Middle school football, yeah. Well, man, that was a cracked pelvis bone. Somebody hit me slightly outside of my hip pad or whatever, and the helmet hit my pelvis bone and cracked my pelvis bone. So I had a serious limp, and then I actually tried to play on it during that last game. I was like, nah, it ain't happening. And then when track season came around, I thought I was fully healed. I was running, and I just felt a huge crack pop or whatever. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was something serious. That was some real pain right there. Yeah.
So how long did you have to sit out from that injury?
For some time, I couldn't sprint for a while, but I ran like long distance races just to stay intact. I guess I ran like the 800 in the marathon time. It wasn't even for competition. It was just coach wanted me to work it out and not just sit out for the season. But like my freshman year in high school, I was fully back on it. You know what I'm saying? I started playing again like it wasn't nothing, I actually forgot about it until you brought it up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if y'all don't know, people that's listening and watching right now, this is my blood brother. Yeah. We grew up together. That's and, we definitely got a lot of memories, man, and been a blessing.
Oh, yeah, same household, same arguments and everything. Blood brother, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to always rock his clothes.
yeah, man. That joint used to get on my nerves. I used to be like, yo, what in the world, man? Like from head to toe. It was like, what, cuz?
That's funny.
Man, yeah.
It's all
I remember you.
Go ahead.
I know we're going to get to it, but I remember you showed up at my basic training for the Army graduation with my whole outfit on. I was in the stands, like, I was at parade rest, I think. I was like, this nigga here, he came down. I was like, yo, good to see you.
Man, yeah.
I guess I had good taste. Maybe that's what it was.
Especially with red Hirachi, I love it.
Yeah, that's what you had on at the graduation. I was like, man, this dude is rocking. I can't rock him no more. That's
funny. That's funny, man. Yeah. So, speaking of that, man, I feel like that's leading into, what we came here today to talk about. Mm-hmm. And I remember when you had, well, the case that we're here to talk about when you was falsely accused.
Yeah.
You know, when, like, I was younger back then, so when everybody came home and I didn't see you, it was different at that time. But like we said, I was still young, and I put the clothes on for some reason. And
yeah.
But what we want to get into now, man, is that story.
All right.
And you know how that affected your life, and you know what you learned from it, and how you was able to be pulled out of it. So if you could you just explain a little bit of the story for us?
Okay. I can paint the picture as best as I can. It might be very, very detailed. You know, I remember a lot of things about it. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much, I start in 2004, 2005 time frame. So, of course, like I mentioned before, I went to Livingstone College for a semester. That's how brief I was there. Ended up leaving Livingstone, came back to Virginia because Livingstone is in Salisbury, North Carolina, about 5 hours and some change away, I think. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I got homesick for the most part. And I said, hey, I'm gonna come back and go to Norfolk State. It didn't happen. It's like, cool. So I had started working when I came back. One of my friends I went to Livingstone with, I started working with him and his uncle painting houses, commercial and residential, you know what I'm saying? So started working with him for some time, I think I was like 19. So I was 18 at the time, sorry. So for an 18-year-old, coming from, I had a job, when I was a senior in high school, but that was like a dishwasher prep at a restaurant.
Vivos. Was it Vivos?
Vivos, yeah. Out in Greenbrier, they
came home with pizza.
Yes, sir, man. That's the advantage of working at a restaurant, But I was only making like $7.50, something like that. I can't remember for sure,
yeah.
But that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? That for a high school senior, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. So I started doing the paint stuff and everything. Once I left that behind after high school and everything, I want to say I was making like $15 an hour painting, if I can remember correctly. I know I started off at 10, and then I kept, bumping up. So I was doing that for some time, and you know what I'm saying? And during this time, one of my good friends, I said his name, one of my good friends, Gerald, I put him on to, to start painting and everything. And, we were road dogs. Like, we would go to each job together, you know what I'm saying? We was pretty much, we was our own crew coming from Deep Creek, coming from Camelot and stuff, to go to wherever in Hampton Roads we had jobs, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, we were making good money to the point, like some of our painting jobs, our boss would give us a whole job site by ourselves. And with painting, if you go there and knock it out, you get paid for how long. I mean, you get paid by the job, So if you stretch out a job, or whatever, you get less money. If you're getting $500 for one job, if you can knock it out in a day, you can get another job for $500 the next day,
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about this type of money at 19 back in 2004,
Yeah.
So coming straight out of high school, it's like, all right, man, we can really hustle this. Yeah. And so, and of course with painting, you make your most money during the warm months. seasonal work. You know what I'm saying? So as the summer was coming to an end, you know, we did have like a huge job that covered us for the majority of the summer. You know, so once we got to the tail end of the summer, going into late September, October, you know, the job slowed down. And when you used to eating, you know, and this, you know, used to making good money, it's like, man, all right,
what am I gonna do now?
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something else out. You know, now still at the same time, I didn't have, you know, I'm still living with moms and them, you know, so I ain't have the, you know, the bills and stuff to worry about. I just had whatever my lifestyle was to worry about, you know what I'm saying, whether it was clothes or whatever. I was never into nothing crazy, you know, it was just clothes, going to North State game, mall, you know, just stuff like that, regular young adult stuff, man, and clubs and stuff. So Gerald, I guess since he had started working after high school and stuff, he would work at this another seasonal place called Lily and Vernon. And so when he said, you know what I'm saying, like when we said slow down with the painting, he already had a plan after that. So I was like, oh, well, all right. Well, sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So he started doing it, and I said, you know, he had started working and everything. I said, well, put me on, man. Tell me what I need to do. So he put me on. And
how old was y'all when y'all took this job, Lily and Vernon?
By this time, I want to say I was either, this is around September time frame, so I think I was about 19.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'll say 19 because, you know, my birthday in September, so.
Yeah. And what was the pay like there?
It might have been around, it was a pay drop, I know for sure. It might have been around 10 something, I can't remember for sure. Mm-hmm. I never went back down to $750, you know what I'm saying, with that, but it was decent. It was cool enough, you know. And then the schedule there at Leland and Vernon, it was, I can't remember that for sure how detailed that schedule was, but I remember it was some days they asked who wanted to you know, like, hey, we don't need everybody today, who wanted to you know, sky out or something. I forgot how they used to say it, you know, but pretty much then who wanted to go home, you know. So
yeah,
you know, it was some nights you were like, shoot, all right, well, I'll go home. I got some other stuff to do anyway. Probably nothing but, you know what I'm saying, going to chill or something like that. But, you know, and so anyway, started working there. So this September, you know, and it's crazy how much of a short frame this was. And, you know, worked there in October.
So how different was the atmosphere? Like how that changed from going from painting to in the warehouse? Like how different was that change to you? Was it a dramatic change?
Not really. It was more relaxed, man, because, you know, with painting, we did a lot of painting outside, so we were dealing with that summer heat and just, you know, it was two different lines of work pretty much, you know. So being in a warehouse, controlled environment, and then, you know, be real with you, I'm a man. There was some beautiful young ladies that worked at this place too. So it was that environment. Yeah, I was enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? And so it was cool for that sake, man. You know, the work wasn't hard. I forget exactly how it went, but like you'll get like an order sheet or something like that, and you have to go pull these orders and drop them off somewhere. Yeah, it was something like that, you know. I can't even remember exactly what I did there. What was my job? I remember what I was doing. Okay, so they used to. So I worked on the upper level of this warehouse, and the forklifts used to bring the pallets of what, you know, boxes and stuff. They'll bring them, and we'll come get them. And wherever it was, just like shelves and shelves of different aisles in this warehouse, and you would just pretty much put your stuff up there. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody else had a position where they would go pull the different items from these shelves or whatever, and then they would take them somewhere else. So it was pretty much that's how I was working. You know what I'm saying?
Who was like the group? Was it like ever a group that you was working with, a specific group, or like the people around you?
Well, so what I was doing, that was a position in itself. So it was me. Gerald did the same thing. It was another guy named Richard and another guy named Aurelius or whatever. I hope they don't mind me naming their names, but they're key witness in this situation. So, but and then some other guys I met there. Even some military guys I ended up meeting. You know what I'm saying? Down the line. But yeah, so like I said, that was my position there. Did that for some time, and then I don't know what was going on with the company, but like I said, we were when they used to come to us, ask if we wanted to leave for the night and everything like that. Most of the time it's either some financial issues or something going on. I'm not exactly sure, but it was to one point where we like slowed down, where we didn't have nothing coming up, So if we didn't have any product coming up to put up, it's like, all right, we either go home or they find us some busy work to do. So it was a lot of times where, they was pretty much finding us busy work. And on November 1st, that was the case where we didn't have anything coming up until the very end of my time there. So this particular day, we were this place was full of conveyor belts too. You know what I'm saying? This is, if you can imagine a warehouse, this looked like a warehouse. Conveyor belts everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Production going on every possible place. This is a huge place. I wasn't even sure of every position in there, man. It was crazy how huge this place was. So,
and was it like, what was the supplies that they had in there? What was y'all actually moving around? If you were
man, I don't know what was in them things. So for the most part, I think I used to see on like TV, like infomercials, like where they would sell. Babe, you remember what type of stuff Lily and Vernon used to have?
Didn't they used to be kind of like a QVC of...
Yeah, so that type stuff, man.
A lot of seasonal stuff too.
Yeah. So yeah, see, that was the main. Yeah, a lot of Christmas ornament type things.
Decorations.
Yeah, and so that's what they were selling. And I think that I remember I used to see them on like a TV channel where like a QVC type thing. You know what I'm saying? Where you can get this from Lily and Vernon. And I think it was Time Warner. Time Warner was the company there too. I don't know. I wasn't sure of their connection. My mind now would have wondered like all the business aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? But back then I was like, man, just pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so like I was saying, November 1st, 2005. Like I said, it was a slow night. Our job that particular night was to move these gray totes from one of these conveyor belts all the way to this other location. I'm trying to remember exactly what this location was. I want to say this location was like slightly in front of where we used to commonly work at. You know what I'm saying? And so it was four of us. Like I said, it was me, Gerald, Richard, and Aurelius. These totes, we were putting them on pilots or whatever. So we had a pilot jacks, and all four of us would go in a chain reaction back and forth to the same location. During this time, like the reason this is important because we always seen each other during this time, and there was a camera in this view and everything. The reason I know that because I just happen to see this camera on a regular basis. Not saying, hey, I'm looking for each camera in this place. I just happen to know where this camera was. I think it was right by like a equipment elevator or something like that. So so moving all this stuff, these totes back and forth and everything. No, none of these guys, either one or the other, I never left their sight. You know what I'm saying? After doing all that, we did eventually get like a little bit of work or whatever, So we went to go get that, and we went to go put it up. You know what I'm saying? And during this time, me and Gerald got a call to the office. Said Gerald and Tyman Jackson, come to the office, come to the supervisor's office right now. We chill. Honestly, like me and Gerald, we were joking, like, shoot, we about to get a promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Because we were decent workers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we were smoothly walking, no urgency or nothing like that. Then comes again. Gerald and Tyman Jackson comes to the supervisor's office immediately. We're like, oh, shit. Then we put a little pep in our step. We're like, man. So we get in the office. It was some management standing in front of the office. They told us, hey, you guys stand right there. We're like, all right, cool.
So what was you feeling at that moment when they told you to, like, after they had called y'all twice and then they told you to stand right there? Was you feeling like what were you feeling at that time? Was you concerned about something or?
Not really. Let me back up a little bit. So while we was moving totes and everything, we was in the walkway en route to our department location where we was taking all these totes. So we used to pretty much see everybody coming in from the elevator further down the walkway or whatever. So, and in passing, what we heard is that the police was outside or the police was downstairs and that somebody had gotten cut or sliced or something. That's what we had heard. My mindset was like, dang. But I wasn't phased at all because it was like, I know it ain't got nothing to do with me. And they said, they ain't say anybody died or anything, nothing crazy. So yeah. I was just like, wow, that's crazy, So even like to your point, when they pulled me, when they called my name and had me stand in front of the office door and everything, I still didn't even think about that. When you ain't involved with something, man, it's like a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? I had never been in any trouble. I had speeding tickets or whatever in life, but I had never been in any trouble. You know what I'm saying? Never been suspended from school or anything. So I don't know how that guilty conscience works when you know what I'm saying, standing, about to get confronted about something you did, I know I was innocent from anything, so I didn't even know all the details that was going on downstairs. As far as I know, they could have been lying about something. I don't know. So I was standing over there fine, So then when we were standing in front of the supervisor door, I can remember this vividly because I know Gerald had his badge tucked in because our badge used to get in the way at times when we used to cut the boxes open to make them available for people, for the other workers to come and grab their product or whatever and take them to wherever they needed to. So the badge would get in the way. My badge was out and everything, but that was just, one of the things I remember because one of the managers came and he said, hey, why'd your badge tucked in? And, he explained to him just the same way, He said, hey, we'll take your badge out and show us, so then that's when I was like, now it's starting to get kind of strange. And then our supervisor came up and told us to come in the office, after we were told to stand over there. And we were like, oh, he said, come on in the office. Like, whoa, all right. We're shining there. Then I never forget the question he asked. He said, what? He said, why'd y'all cut that girl?
And what was going through your head at that moment?
I was like, wow. And then I was like, maybe they this question. This is their weird way of questioning everybody. You know.
Do you think they was trying to? Do you think they was trying to make you confess that you did it?
I don't know.
By asking you that, like asking you in that form.
I mean, I don't know if that was their way of trying to get a confession out of somebody that did it. I don't know, you know, but that's just how it came off. You know, exactly how it came off. It was.
And did y'all look at it, like, did you and Gerald look at each other?
Yeah, we looked at each other. I most definitely looked at Gerald. I'm like, what? And I couldn't even say nothing. I was like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And then all the other managers came in there. I remember there was this dark-skinned manager. I remember him exactly because I'm pretty sure he was mad for real, but his face was like, he was looking like that, this weird face, and I was like, what in the world is going on? You know what I'm saying? And then Gerald just said, he said, I have no clue what you guys are talking about. Then, like, just like that, they said, all right, well, go ahead back to work. Then during this time, me and Gerald were talking. We said, well, why would they single us out like that? Now, that's strange. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that. Now, now it was getting very strange. And so then everybody started coming to us, you know, on the floor and everything. And I would ask them, like, did they talk to you? Did they talk to you? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, okay, I can't understand what's going on. I don't know why they just pulled me and Gerald to the side to ask us these questions. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it was racially profiling?
I don't know. I mean, because, like, of course, yeah, me and Gerald, two young black men.
Well, y'all,
but we weren't the only black people there. I don't know if they eventually talked to anybody else or whatever the case was, man. All I know was, you know what I'm saying, and that's when I started finding out more details of what was going on, but it was still pretty much around the same thing, you know. I think they told me who had got sliced in the face or something like that. And that particular person was, I'm going to say, believed to be a transsexual or transvestite, you know. And I'm gonna say this, I never spoke to her at all. You know what I'm saying? Never. I don't even think I was ever put in a position to say hi or anything like that or go out my way to speak. You know what I'm saying? I do remember saying, like, because guys did used to talk about, like, if we was all passing as a group and, like, or they see her working and they were like, man, that's a man, you know, like they would say something jokingly saying that, you know, because we did have discrimination meetings at work about the situation, so we knew that that's probably what they was referring to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's as far as like that, it was never. It was always just a word saying, yo, yeah, that's a man. Like, no management. No, you know, management is not supposed to come and say, hey, you know, we have a transsexual on the floor. You know, I understand that. You know, it was just always the word. But, like, I remember this case, the situation where I was saying where we was walking past and one of the guys had yelled out, you know what I'm saying, that's a man, like that. And I clearly said, I'm like, man, like, all right, so what? See, that right there, why are you giving it that attention? You know what I'm saying? This is 19-year-old me, so, you know, I was still going about things like that. It was like, yeah, like, why are y'all giving it that attention? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the attention we should be giving it right now. You know what I'm saying? Just do your job. You know, let's just, it's like, let her do her. You know what I'm saying? And I always say that, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. Do you or whatever. Now, what I don't believe in is what I don't believe in. That doesn't mean I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to love a person or not going to, you know, I'm not going to treat the person differently because of who they are. You know what I'm saying? Just do you. Don't worry about if I believe in it or not, you know. Just do you, you know what I'm saying? And so that's how I was carrying that, you know what I'm saying? If when we was passing them or whatever, and the guy said that, I'm like, yo, don't give it that negative energy that you're trying to give it now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so all right, so let me go back to, like I was saying, so like once we had came from the office, we standing all together and stuff, and pretty much I can't even remember if we actually went back to what we were doing, you know what I'm saying? Next thing I know, I see the company security and my other supervisor walking towards me and saying, you know, Mr. Jackson, can you come with us? And I was like, sure, you know. First thing I think of doing is, well, shoot, let me show you that I'm 100% innocent. Let me give you my box cutter. I gave him my box cutter and everything. I was like, just in case anything weird happens, you know what I'm saying? I want you to test it for DNA or anything, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just to make sure, you know what I'm saying? So they walked me downstairs to the, what'd you call it? It was like a security area or whatever. And one of their security guards asked, he said, "Do you have any problems or beefs with anyone?" You know, it's a real big black dude. They ain't got nothing to do with it. But, you know, I remember everything real vividly. I want to paint the picture exactly how it happened. You know what I'm saying? Real big dude asked me if I have any beefs or any issues with anybody. I said, man, I have no issues with anyone. I said, this is where I come to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no problems with nobody, you know, so after, you know, security, the big security guy left that room. Then the police come in and they introduce themselves and everything, you know. They go into details about what happened and who it was. And they asked me if I've ever had any issues with her or anything. And they showed me a picture of her face. From the pictures they showed me, it looked like cat scratches across her face. They then say that she said that it was you that did this to her, and I used to always wear this black hat when I was working there, like always. It never failed. Like that was around that age. Like when you saw me with my black hat on, you know. She said that the police officer said that she recognized me because of the black hat I had on. You know, you know. One of the things I remember is like, man, like I wasn't normally the only one wearing a black hat in there. You know what I'm saying? So, but still around this time, I was you know, I was so innocent to the point. Like I said, never been any issues. Never had a reason not to trust the system. You know what I'm saying? Never knew that all it took was for somebody to say that you did something, and for you to end up in handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. So once they finished questioning me and everything, you know, one of the last things they said, well, she said that you did it, and you know, that was the very first and last time to this day I was read my rights and everything. You know, you have the right to remain silent, all that stuff. First and only time I had handcuffs put on me, you know, so. I can't say the only time because, you know, you're here later on, you know. But, you know, they put the handcuffs on me. And I must say, you know what I'm saying, this is Virginia Beach. you know, if you're from the 757 area, you know Virginia Beach and Chesapeake cops to be, you know, not so, you know, so much of great people, I'll say, you know, but I'll say these are some decent cops, you know what I'm saying? Because even when we was walking out, like as we walking out, this was at the same time. All of my guys from my shift were on break, so they was walking, you know, to the break room at the same time, and so the officer stopped and slowed down to cover up the handcuffs I had on. You know what I'm saying? He said, "All right, let me cover you up here. I don't want everybody to see you like this." You know. And so it didn't matter at the time. I was still like, "Yo,
why am I? So how did you feel?
Yeah. I mean, at that time, I was like, what in the world is going on?
Were you embarrassed then?
That was embarrassing. I mean, that was embarrassing. Like, it was embarrassing. It was shocking. It was like,
did tears fall? Did you cry?
Nah, no tears fell. I was just, I still had like.
Were you confused?
Very confused. Very, very, very confused. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we go walking out. I remember this. You know, this other guy. I guess he. This other guy. I forget what he did. He might have did the same. He might have had the same position that I had there. But I remember like he saw that I was walking out of handcuffs or whatever. And I'm not exactly sure what he was saying, but when they had me in the car, he came out and, you know, all I saw was his hands moving as he was talking to the officers. And, you know, like that, I couldn't hear what he was saying, you know. That was the last time I ever seen that guy. But, you know, he came all the way out because, you know, you got to swipe your badge and everything to get in and out of the building. But he came all the way out, you know, coming to plead, you know. I don't know what he was saying. That's all I can say. It was like, I could tell he was, through his action, he was trying to get me out of that car. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, I never seen that dude again. You know what I mean? And but anyway, so that ride, I remember it being dark. I remember going down roads in Virginia Beach I never knew existed. You know what I'm saying? And just thinking like, what's going on, man? You know, like, because I was slightly laying down, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that had never been in a cop car. That was the first and only time I had been in a cop car, you know, so
So what were they taking you to?
Virginia Beach City Jail, correctional officer, whatever you want to call it.
And who was so when you got there, who was the first person that you was able to, did they allow you to contact? Who was you able to call and let them know where you were at?
I wasn't able to contact anybody when I first got there. The way it was, so when I first got there, all right, let me tell you the whole rundown. So when I first got there, I get out the car and everything, and the police car. And they tell, officer said, man, you real calm and collective. You know, you don't seem like you're going to give us any problems. So they actually took the handcuffs off. You know, I'm not sure how normal that is or whatever. But everybody else I seen coming in there came in there with handcuffs on. You know what I'm saying? And, they took the handcuffs off. I came in there, free hand or whatever, and talked to the magistrate and told him the situation, and the magistrate, they determine, of course, whether you're gonna stay there until your court date or have to post a bail bond or whatever. He told me, say he'll let me go tonight. But don't leave the state. You stay. Stay in the state of Virginia. Don't get in any trouble and everything. And so I guess that whole process is not the fastest process. You know, I didn't go home right away. You know what I'm saying?
How many hours was it till you went home?
Probably like 5, maybe. I don't, you know, I can't remember for sure. But I remember, you know, sitting there and I remember they kept telling one guy to sit down or whatever. And he was drunk, you know. He was a white guy. He said, come make me sit down like that. And, you know, the chef said, fabulous. You know, they put on their gloves. They was coming. And he sat down and said, you know, it's like they was about, I don't know what was about to happen. Well, I know what was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, he sat right down because he knew what was coming. But then as I'm sitting there waiting, they take my shoes, my socks, and they gave me some flip-flops, and they giving me like an orange jumpsuit at the time. I'm like, I'm supposed to be about to go home, you know?
Yeah.
And so then he took the paper I had, he was like, oh. So then he took everything back and gave me my stuff. And so then I asked, I guess what would be the dumb question, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody in there laughed at me. How long I got before y'all finish up with everything, you know what I'm saying? And just be patient, you know. Everybody laughed, you know, even the inmates. That was, you know, I don't know what you call that area, man. You know, you know, but you know they they was laughing, and so after all that, you know, I did like once you leave that area, there was a payphone outside of there, and I think I had my cell phone on me or whatever. So I was able to call like mama or whatever. I can't remember if it was mama or Clip. Somebody, you know, so I was able to get in contact with somebody and they, you know, picked me up. And I just remember that being a rough night to try to get some sleep, man. That was crazy, man.
And I'm quite sure the person that picked you up was asking a lot of questions too.
Yeah, but you know, everybody that knows me, so it was nobody ever asked me, well, did you do it? You know what I'm saying? And I understand that because, you know, y'all know me, you know what I'm saying? So I've always, like, if I did something stupid, if I did something like that, I would just have to own up to that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was completely innocent, man, you know what I'm saying? And you know, so the ride home was more like, what in the world? This is crazy, you know what I'm saying? This don't make no sense, you know? And like I said, man, getting home, you know, it was just, from that point, it was just a change, you know what I'm saying? And, you know.
And your emotions and the feelings.
Yeah, because now it was like, that was the beginning of my trust in, like, just the beginning of the trust in the justice system. I'll say that because still hadn't been convicted at the time, but I just saw how easy it was to be put in handcuffs and be put in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, what if I had a career where I had to sit in jail and had this mess up my character as an innocent man, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, but yeah, anyway, man.
So from that night, when was your court day, your first court date?
I can't remember like the first court date they gave me, but the very first one, it got pushed back because the lady couldn't be there.
And so when you found out that the lady couldn't be there, did you expect it to get like thrown out?
I'm thinking she, well, not. I don't think I thought it would get thrown out. Somehow, some way, she had, you know, I guess she had contacted the courts or whatever to say whatever situation she had going on, and it was excusable to be pushed back to a later date, you know. So I just remember them saying, you know what I'm saying, they give me another court date. And then the second time, I think they said she had death in her family. And so they pushed it back again. But this time, that judge, the date that they was trying to push it to, the officer was going to be in traffic court that day. And so instead of a criminal lawyer, not a criminal lawyer, instead of a criminal judge seeing, what you call it, being a judge in my case, it was a traffic court lawyer, judge or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that they don't do criminal stuff, but it was just,
Yeah, it was.
So it was like all of my, all the cases before me were traffic DUIs and all that stuff. And then when mine came about,
It was a criminal.
it was a criminal, yeah. So, it was just.
So how did that make you? Did that sit right with you, being that traffic judge was judging a criminal case?
I had no knowledge of how the system goes and stuff like that. I didn't think of it, honestly. I didn't like I said.
You really wasn't questioning that.
I wasn't questioning it because like the whole time, at the same time, I was so positive and.
You knew you didn't do it.
Yeah, I was innocent. It was just a different mindset. I was relaxed. I went to court in a very nice suit, planned on going to IHOP afterwards. Like seriously, that's what I planned on doing afterwards, man. I really expected to walk out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, I'm innocent, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no like. The lawyer I had confidence in him. I was like, man, he gonna ask all the questions that needs to be asked to show him innocent. And I'm pretty sure he's already pulled up that video footage from the camera I walked past. I don't know when that incident happened that day, but I'm pretty sure I'm accounted for. I got 3 witnesses over here. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I felt.
So did they ever pull that? Did they ever? Was it ever a point in time where they told you when the incident happened or anything like that?
I can't remember that. I can't remember them telling me like the time and area and stuff like that. Because I remember I always wondered where did this incident happen at? Was I in that area?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Were there cameras in that area? Okay, if there wasn't cameras in the area, okay, where I was, there was cameras. You know what I'm saying? So like this.
So did your lawyer ask questions like this?
Nah, my lawyer. It felt like I could have did a better job. That's why. You know what I'm saying. Cliff. You know what I'm saying. Stepdad and everything. That's why he always said, man, you could have been better off with a court-appointed lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And and I understand it because, like, the way that, it's... My lawyer, he was... Now, being older, I understand how it worked. My lawyer, he was out of... his office was in Portsmouth, Virginia, so... And he dealt with drug stuff, to my understanding. Because the reason I went with this lawyer, he was recommended by, my dad... who knew of this lawyer because of him getting my, some other family members out of stuff or something like that. And so he felt it was good. So, and, with a lawyer, they probably do great in their city. You know what I'm saying? They know a lot more people, probably, Virginia Beach, it just seemed different, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he really wasn't asking some key questions I felt that should have been asked, to get me, to get me home, man. It's to the point where as we, during court, you know, I was trying to, like, it got to a point where I was just trying to really explain explain everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I would never hurt anybody. And this is where I work at. I come here, you know, I come to work, you know, to come home, you know, come here and make money. I don't want to have any issues coming to work. That's the worst stress ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to, you know, come here because you have to, and then not wanting to be here. I don't want to put somebody else in that situation as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how I was trying to say it. I remember, you know what I'm saying, my lawyer was saying, all right, you know, you can kind of like that, you know. But, during court and everything, both stories was heard. All the witnesses spoke and everything. Then after that, you know, the judge said, you know, I don't remember her words verbatim, but you know, something I do remember. She said, I think you did do this, and I think you did this because I think you was trying to scare her, you know. And you know, I was sitting there like, you know, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a criminal mindset, so I don't understand, like, why would people do stuff like that? You know, why would I do this? Why would I be trying to scare her for what? Like, you know, so it was confusing, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, when she said, I find you guilty, you know, it was just all shocking.
So did she allow your witnesses to say anything?
Yeah, all my witnesses spoke. You know, some of the key questions that she asked them, like, were we friends outside of work? You know, was this a friend or acquaintance, I believe, like, you know. And, you know, of course, the two of them witnessed, you know, to say, you know, he's an acquaintance, you know. We know him at work. We know him from work, you know what I'm saying. And of course, Gerald said, you know, his story was different.
All right, so did she ask your witnesses any questions pertaining to the case? Did you remember? Or was the questions just asking about y'all friendship outside?
Yeah, that's what I mostly remember is, like, she asked relationship questions versus, like, their story. You know what I'm saying? So
were they called up to the stand for the other lawyer question?
Like I said, this was traffic court. I didn't see, like, you know, like you see on TV where they actually come and, you know, sit down and face, you know, and get questioned from another lawyer, nothing like that.
So y'all were
like, we was all just standing in front of, yeah, you know. I mean, the criminal court did look slightly different, if I'll say, you know, to the point where that could have happened in criminal court.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, like I said, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't familiar on how it worked anyway, because, you know, I had never been in court for you know, anything criminal and stuff like that, man. You know. Now, when I was in high school, I got reckless driving. I did go to court for that, but that's traffic court. You know what I'm saying? So it was the same format, you know, in Chesapeake, man. But, like, yeah. So, but yeah, no. Back to your question, man. It was no. I can't recall any questions about that actual day to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't recall that. Yeah. But yeah.
So, like, once all this happened and she questions your witnesses and y'all are standing up there, like, what was like, was the judge writing down things as y'all were going over what was going on?
I can't remember the judge writing down anything. I can't remember. Not to my recollection, man. You know, it was. Everybody was just talking pretty much, you know.
And so what was the sentence that was given?
All right. Well, the way the sentence was broken down is that I sentence you to 12 months in Virginia Beach Correctional Facility with 11 months suspended. And 1 year probation, I think, something like that. And so then the question was asked if you want to appeal. And of course, and the lawyer said, "Hey, do you want to appeal?" And I was like, "Yes, I didn't do this. I'm innocent." You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember saying that. You know what I'm saying?
How did you feel when the sentence was given?
Man, I was still in shock, man. I was like, huh? Like, you know,
All this just built up, and now you standing in front of the judge. And
because now, to anybody that hears this, they think 1 month in jail, they ain't nothing. 1 hour in jail when you innocent, though. You know what I'm saying? That's worse. You know what I'm saying? So, being innocent and being sentenced, being convicted of a crime you didn't commit, I hadn't even gotten to, I wasn't even 21 yet. I wasn't even at an age where, I could start living for real. You know what I'm saying? So, I hadn't lived, with the conviction on my back. That's the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you've been convicted of a crime and try to move around in this country, man, it's difficult, man. And I didn't know what I was up for as a young man, so
tell us about that, about how hard it was to get a job with that on your record.
Yeah. Well, let me finish. So like with the appeal or whatever, I did say I wanted to appeal, and my judge asked if I could, if I can have a bond. You know what I'm saying? And the judge did. Well, then I think he asked if I can go home until the appeal date. The judge asked me if I had been in any trouble since November 1st. Say court was on a Monday. I had gotten a speeding ticket that Saturday. So I had gotten in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That was trouble. And I was speeding through a construction zone, and driving the normal speed limit that it would be, but since they were doing construction there, I was speeding, man, and so I couldn't.
So at that moment when you got that ticket, were you thinking like, yo, like this might affect the case that I'm in right now?
Not right away. I mean, I think briefly I said this could be bad, but I don't know, because I was thinking like, shoot, what I got coming up could be worse for real, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm innocent. So what is this ticket, Like I said, I had never been in any trouble. I don't know what's what, you know what I'm saying? So, so anyway, the reason I said that is because I hadn't experienced jail before. When I first got arrested that night, that was just like a holding cell, if you want to say. That wasn't population, is what they call it, you know what I'm saying? So when they put them handcuffs on me to go to jail, then, my lawyer said, this is what my lawyer said. He said, he said, a month, you're going to do half the time. It's not that bad, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm like, dude.
Yeah. I didn't do the crime.
Exactly. I'm innocent, man. I don't, And I said, man, but, I'm innocent. Like, what do you feel? Like, what should I do? And then he started telling me the charges for him to represent me in the appeal. And I was like, wow, what the heck, man? You know what I'm saying?
The charges that he...
Like, I'm sorry, like the amount, his cost. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, you know, this.
And do you remember some of his calls?
I don't remember for sure, man, but you know, it was, who had it, man? Like, you know, shoot, we had to scrape up for him, you know what I'm saying? And but at the same time, he wasn't one of the most expensive lawyers, you know what I'm saying? He was still affordable to how lawyers are now, you know what I'm saying? So, and like, people actually joked about it later and say, man, dang, that's why he, you know, lawyer cost you $50. You know, most lawyers, they $10,000 or whatever. He by far wasn't that much. He was in a 1,000 something range, but I don't remember exactly, you know. But so when I was in jail, experiencing jail, Nick, excuse me, bruh, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, man, it's jail.
How did it affect you mentally?
That's when I lost faith in the justice system. I was like, how many people in worse situations are in this current state? How many innocent people are in prison? You know, city jail and prison, two different things. You know, I started thinking like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those ones that are here and as an innocent man, you know, spending time for a crime that I didn't do, you know what I'm saying? That was my mental, you know. It's like, how could the system fail? Like, what is this just, you know, for the sake of a conviction rate? They just want it, like, okay, we have a person that's possibly, you know, the suspect. Let's just go ahead and say he's guilty. You know, I really didn't know how it worked then. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was confused on that part, man. You know, I just remember being in a place where I most definitely didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying? And like, to the point where I can say one of the best feelings I've ever felt was getting out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If that's one of your best feelings in life, that was like, man, that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And I say one because I have plenty of blessings, you know, along with that, man. But like, being released, it was like,
So speaking of faith in the justice system, what was it that got you through this moment? This moment, like being in jail for that long and kind of like losing trust in the system.
Man, of course, you know what I'm saying, like, I still had some hope at some end, like, because this whole time I still had my appeal. I had an appeal date, but you know, one of the brothers from the church, Brother Larry, he was a parole officer, parole or probation officer, I can't remember exactly, but he, you know, for the city of Virginia Beach, I believe. So he had access to come and talk to me and everything. So he came a couple times and talked to me while I was in there, and you know, he kept me uplifted and prayed with me and everything, you know. So, you know, that was some of the stuff, you know what I'm saying, that kind of carried me through the moment to, you know, say, you know what I'm saying, like, be still, kind of like, you know what I'm saying. At the same time, it was like, if you're in a position where, you know, you can't hear God at all, but somehow, some way, he's holding you still, you know what I'm saying? Because I really wasn't hearing, I really ain't understand what was going on. Like,
so was you questioning God a lot at that time?
At these times, I would say, like, with God, it was like Man, yeah, I guess it would be questioning God, because it would be like, man, what you got going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, why this route? Like, I was really confused on like what in the world was taking place, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah. It's real. Like, it's just I was just in a weird place, man. I didn't know what to think, man. You know, I was just trying to figure out why I was in there, man. And like, I forget the month and date that I was locked up, man. But I remember, like, it's like, okay, if I have a month in jail, okay, and they say you do half of that time, I just remember I'm only supposed to be here for 15 days, so. In there, you don't know what time it is, you don't know what day it is, or nothing like that. You lose track of that stuff, man, unless you ask one of the, one of the COs or whatever, like, hey, what's today's date? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what time is it? You know, some of them would tell you, some of them like, where you got to go? You know, so.
You ever have anybody tell you that, where you got to go?
I not me personally. I seen them tell people, other people that, you know. So I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna ask them then. Well, I ain't gonna come out to him and ask him the same question and get the same answer, you know. Yeah. So it was one particular CO. I asked him, hey, can you tell me our release date, you know? And so he said, I got you. You did this job, you know. So then when I seen him come back around, you know, because he used to write stuff down. Like, if we asked, you know, he'll write it down. So then he finally told me. He said, hey, man, it says you got court, man. I was like, oh, when is that? You know, I said, you got court in May or whatever. Mm. And so I think around this time, it was like beginning of April or something like that. So I was like, I'm supposed to be in here from all the way, you know, like a month away, you know. So what I'll say, I can't say it was one of the worst decisions, but what I ended up doing, I talked to somebody in the jail. I'm like, yo, so how can I drop my appeal? I would rather fight this outside of here, you know what I'm saying, outside of jail, because I didn't want to be in jail that long, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, so how can I drop? So somehow, some way, I got in contact with my aunt or whatever, and she worked it out to get to the courts, you know, to put in the paperwork to drop the appeal and everything. And so, like, I think, I want to say I might have end up being in there for like 18 days, I think. I can't remember for sure. But at that point, they brought the paperwork to me to sign, and, you know, I got released like that next morning or whatever in April. I want to say it was like April 18th. I can't remember for sure. Yeah.
So did this, what you went through, did it teach you like patience? Do you think it strengthened your patience?
Now, yeah. Now, I can't say like I would want to go through something like that again for I don't know how to put it. It's like, man, it's like the way God works, man. And I know I keep answering these questions with like huge essays pretty much, but when God take you through something for to receive the blessings that you have, you know, it's like you really got to check yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know where I would have been in life if this wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Because the life I was living could have been a path to even worse destruction. You know what I'm saying? I had to look at this situation like a roadblock to where I was headed. You know what I'm saying? Not saying where I was headed was like on some drug and criminal stuff, man. But, you know, of course, you know, I was trying to be a music producer, you know what I'm saying, during that time. Mm-hmm. You know. But, like, now looking at where I am now, I can literally see how God came in and stopped certain things from happening and allowing certain things to happen for him to put you where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? Put me where I needed to be. You know, so that's what I take out of the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, I know you said when you was released, you know, that was one of the greatest feelings that you had ever felt. But like while you were in there, what was like? Was you like planning out what you were gonna be doing when you got out, or was it just like a kind of like an emptiness?
Really, man, I can't say I was really planning out anything. You know, I guess emptiness is the closest word. It was. I think I did think about what would life be like now. You know what I'm saying? Once I get out, because I was in there with a few, you know, a lot of guys in there had felonies and stuff. A lot of guys in there were waiting to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like they was waiting to be picked up. Cause I'm not, like I said, you know, what I don't know about is what I don't know about. So I don't know how the from jail to prison system works. If they're waiting on that private prison or that state penitentiary to come pick them up, or how long they spend. But I was in there with a few guys. Like one guy, he was facing 18 years or something like that, you know, and he was just like, you know, he was from D.C. Said I just got laid down, and I was like, wow, you know, he had he had gotten in a fight at a club in Virginia Beach, and he had warrants in D.C. So when the police got him and got his ID, they took him straight to jail. So he was sitting there with them, you know what I mean, in the jail waiting for the U.S. Marshals to come pick him up or something like that, you know. But yeah, so it was, like, to answer your question, man, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't really a plan once I got out. I mean, once I got out, you know, it's just
trying to figure out what to do.
You clueless, man. At least I was clueless. I didn't know how to go about things, man. You know. Yeah.
So we're about to wrap it up here, but you know, now that you know you went through that, but you see the blessing, you know, that where you're at now, like the life that you're living, and you know, you went into the military and then you became an aviation mechanic. How do you, like, what's your experience now? Like, how do you feel about, you know, how do you feel now? How do you feel?
Man,
is it still a scar there?
I mean, it's still a scar because I'm human. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at times I do wonder what would happen without that wound. You know what I'm saying? If that wound wasn't there. But leading up to this, man, you might have to do part 2 or something, man, because like it was like some it was a real trying time, like leading up to here after I got out of jail and everything, man. You know, those 15 days or 18 days or whatever it was, you know. It, you know, like trying to apply for a job and being turned down because you have this on your record. I was trying to get an apartment with Gerald out in Churchland, and remember we was going back to see if we can get the keys or whatever the case was. I can't remember exactly, but I remember she told me, she said, hey, the system denied you, but Gerald did get in. She said, like, you know, he can put his name down on it or whatever. And it was just like, golly, man. So, we didn't go through with that. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember when Mama got tired of me, and Mama and Cliff got there, like, man, all right, you got to get your own. I was like, all right. So and they started helping me save money. And then we went to another apartment complex, and same thing, man. The lady said, you know, hey, the system does not. She said you got a misdemeanor, you know, so we can't, you know, can't accept you here, you know. So after that, you know what I'm saying, I stopped trying. And then can't remember which job was which, man, but like I had got of course, more jobs after that. Oh, the next job I had was this place called Chesapeake Hardwood, man, and I don't think I told them that, you know, I had a misdemeanor, because at the same time I don't think they cared, because they had some felons working there too. So I got on there. I was making good money there, and then I know for sure once I got laid off from there, because they went out of business. Once I got laid off from there, I went to Panasonic. But Panasonic, the way Panasonic worked, they had a hiring agency that hired you in, and then after a certain amount of time, you could hire on to Panasonic company, which, you know, a lot of places do that. So I know for sure I didn't mention that I had a misdemeanor with them, and it's obvious they ain't checked, because got in there, worked there for probably about 2 years or so. I can't remember exactly how long, but from there, that's when I went in the military, because it felt like I was living a treadmill lifestyle. You know, if anybody know me, I say that a lot. You know, I was doing a lot, but not going nowhere. You know, so went in the military. The whole plan of the military was, you know what I'm saying, let's see what it does for me, you know, because now I have to do a lot just to be noticed, because, you know, somebody with the bare minimum will get a position over me because of my record now. You know what I'm saying? At those times back in 2009, I started accepting the fact that that I got to make myself a hot commodity, because I don't, you know what I'm saying, I got this misdemeanor lingering over my head, man. So did the military from 2009 to 2017, but I was in the Army Reserves. So thing with the Army Reserves, of course, you know, you're weekend warriors. So if you don't have a plan, you might want to go active duty, you know. So I learned that early, you know what I'm saying? But through the military, through the Army or whatever, I was an 88 Mike transportation operator. I had a security clearance at that time, and I didn't know it until about 2012, 2013. I can't remember for sure. Somewhere around that time frame. But so from 09 to all the way, 09 to 2012 or 2013, I was working in and out jobs. Mm-hmm. You remember what you call it, Atlantic Ventilation Service, when we was cleaning grease hoods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was doing that type of work, under the table work, and also working on base with my unit whenever they could, you know, whenever they needed people to come in. So you would get active duty pay for that time frame that you was in there helping out. So I was doing that just to, you know, provide for the family and everything. So one day at a drill, we got, you know, administrator called like a we call it S1 or whatever. She said, "Hey, I see you have a clearance. So you have secret clearance." I was like, "Say what?" You know, so she said I had a clearance. I was like, "Wow, okay." So I started searching for jobs. So I'm like, okay, where can I work with a security clearance? You know, I started looking. Somebody had told me about, you know, this small job at the shipyard called Fire Watch, Tank Watch. There are certain areas on the submarine and on the ship where you need to have a security clearance. And so, like that Monday when I applied, I got a call back from, you know, which ended up being my supervisor. He said, "Hey, I see you got a clearance. Hey, come by tomorrow morning. We'll get you straight and everything." Like, all right, go there, and I go right into her orientation. Right. You know what I'm saying? And for Firewatch, for the company Epsilon or whatever, and with that, I had started working there, and I had worked there till about 5 years. I'm gonna say it. So around 2012 to 17. Is that 5 years span? Yeah, 2017. I was there working. So from there,
did you ever find out how you got that security clearance?
through the Army. So like I don't know if they just give it out to whoever, or if you're a recruiter have you apply for that or whatever. But evidently, I think that's how it happened. My recruiter put me in for it, and I didn't know whatsoever. So, but I take that as the start of the blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because from there, I started as a fire watch, and then I became a supervisor and everything. And during this time, I was able to enroll into aviation mechanic school, and while I was working, I was in aviation mechanic school. And of course, I'm sorry, let me go back to 2010. I got married to my beautiful wife, Monica Jackson. You know what I'm saying? We've been married 10 years now, and 4 kids later. You know what I'm saying? I have 4 kids, man, and you know, so
ages.
So my youngest 2 is Drew, and got the 5-year-old Dylan, 9-year-old Talia, and then my oldest is 11, Donovan. You know, but so I'm, you know, during this time, like I'm going through this stuff as a husband and a father, so that was a little bit more pep in the step too. It's like, okay, I got to make the best of this situation. Of course, it was hard, you know, and I can't remember at what point. I'm pretty sure my aunt told you. I can't remember at what point when I asked my aunt, when will God come through for me? You know what I'm saying? I can't remember that, man. You know, those were dark times, man. You know what I'm saying? But I would say from 2009 that I started to see things turning. You know what I'm saying?
How old were you in 2009?
Man, you gonna make me do this math? 09. Shucks, man. 23.
Okay.
I think 23, 24. You know. And so what ended up happening, like I said, I got in aviation school, completed aviation school, graduated with a 4.0. That's cool and all, but with going to a trade school like that, the only thing that really matters is that you get your certification. You know what I'm saying? So, I graduated from there in 2016. Ended up getting my certification in 2017, and I got my certification in May of 2017. I was working. I ended up getting my job July of that same year. You know what I'm saying? So probably not even a full month later. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, it'll be over a month. Yeah. So, but started working at you know, in the airline industry. You know, regional airlines called PSA, and then I did that I was there for like 2 years. I was working for PSA Regional Airlines for 2 years. So just to give you a how the airline works. So regional airlines, if you can think about baseball, regional airlines is like minor league baseball. Then you have the, you know, mainline airlines. Main airlines, so like Delta, Southwest, United, and American Airlines. That's the major leagues. So there's a huge pay difference. So where the regional airlines top out at after 10 years, the highest they go, say like 35, is where the major leagues start their payoff at. So you come in the door starting at $35, $38 an hour at the major airlines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And their top out is like almost close to 70 something an hour. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. Anyway, so after working regional airlines for 2 years, this guy at the job, man, we actually ended up in the same situation, you know, work wise or whatever. He said, man, yo, you should apply for American Airlines, man. I said, bruh, come on, man. You know American Airlines ain't letting nobody in the door. He's like, yo, look. I said, that says Chicago, though, man. I ain't trying to work in Chicago. He said, look, man, open the link. So open the link. It has all these locations for all over the country. I'm like, oh. So I sat right there at the bar top, and I applied right there on the spot and got a notification back to say, you know, blah, blah, blah. You would hear something back in such an amount of time. So during this time, a lot of us regional airline guys, we had applied to American Airlines. Everybody was getting their call for their interview and everything. And it was all on in one day. You know, everybody come back to work and say, you got a call? Yeah. So then, you know, I hadn't gotten a call yet. So I was like, that's what's up, bro.
Where my call at?
Dang, you got a call, huh? All right. You know, so the guy said, they gonna call you, man. I'm like, all right. You know, so then, of course, I was sitting in this chair right here, man. Could barely sleep because I was like, man, I don't want to go to sleep and miss this call. And they said, hey, you know, the guys at work said, look, man, they're going to call you from a Chicago area code, man. It's going to say Chicago on the phone. And I looked at the phone, they called, said Chicago. Hello, hello. Hey, how you doing? You know. Yeah. They said, hey, we want to set you up with an interview. We're going to fly you out to JFK, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, say, hey, we'll... what's your email address and everything? We're going to send it to your email. I said, check your spam mail and everything. So I said, all right, cool. So spam, some time went by. I was like, dang, I ain't got nothing in this email. All right, let me check the spam mail. It's sitting right there in the spam mail, wow. The whole itinerary and stuff like that. So I flew out to JFK back in February of 2019. Mm-hmm. Went through the interview, nervous as all get out, because this is, you know, for us aviation mechanics, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Commercial airline and cargo airlines, that's where you want to be as an aircraft mechanic. So, anyway, end up getting a job, had a successful interview, and they shook my hand and said, hey, welcome to American Airlines. I'm like, yes, that's what's up, you know. They said, hey, all right, so go over there and pick your stations. They have plenty of stations that's available. You know, of course, since I live in Charlotte, the first one I picked was Charlotte, Atlanta, and Jacksonville, you know, because they gave you 3 to pick from. So, you know, I want to be somewhere, you know, relatively close. I didn't even think about picking Raleigh, Durham, because I forgot all about it, you know, so. Yeah. So anyway, so then people from my regional airline, they was just they were leaving, going straight to American Airlines, you know, just like clockwork. So then what ended up happening is it was like they shut the door on us. So we didn't hear a word from February 2019 all the way to November, December 2019. That's a long span when people getting their dates and leaving and stuff like that. So then one of the guys at work can say, hey, yo, check your email. And I was like, all right. And I see a conditional job offer. And it pretty much conditional job offer just simply said, hey, if we offer you a position, will you take it? Yes or no? I was like, yes, you know, no question. Then I was thinking like, dang, man, that job offer might be to anywhere in the country where I ain't trying to go. And everybody was, you know, with anything, but in aviation especially, man, that rumor mill started going like, man, they ain't hiring no more in Charlotte. Yeah, they ain't got no more position in Charlotte. They ain't gonna hire no more in Charlotte for 5 years. So you hear that stuff, it's like, damn. So then, out of the blue, even before this conditional letter, because they say your interview is good for 6 months. So August would have been my 6 months or whatever for my interview to be good, be active or whatever. Because they say after your 6 months, you have to re-interview and go through the system again. So I didn't expect nothing after August. But around that time frame, I was like, man, we still good. Don't worry about it. I had said that, you know what I'm saying, not knowing. Yeah. And I had told somebody, say, yeah, I heard they gonna call everybody, man. Heard we gonna be good. I was telling this guy, he said, you for real? I said, yeah. I said, I got peoples over there. I know, you know. And trust me, I ain't know none of that. I was speaking it. I was psyching myself. I was speaking into existence for myself, man. But anyway, man. So what? You know, I accepted that conditional offer. Then in December of that, you know, of 19, got a job offer saying, you know, like we want to congratulate you on behalf of, you know how offer letters go. I accepted that junk so quick, man. It was good. Did all my paperwork, and of course, man, you know the story. I've been working there since February of 2020. You know, this year. Of course, the pandemic got aviation looking like it's looking right now, man. But after what I just told y'all about, after what I've been through, man, I got great faith in God that, you know what I'm saying, everything's gonna work out in a great favor, man. You know, so you know, I ain't worried about nothing, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I went through, you know, since 2005, you know, to now, you know what I'm saying? God allowed me to see why he took me through these certain situations, you know. Sometimes that's part of the process to mold you into what he wants you to be, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's exactly what happened, man, because, you know, the blessing that I have now, you know, with the family, you know, the job, this home, beautiful home and everything, I can't say I would have had all of this another way. You know, it just, man, it humbled me. It put me in a situation where I'm like, all right,
you had to get focused.
Let me get focused. Let me stand still and figure this out. You know what I'm saying? What do I need to do? God, what are you trying to say to me? What do you need me to do? Who do you need me to be? You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how I went about it, man. And you know, it's to the point where, man, I always put great trust in God, man. You know, he always wants you to put forth work at where he wants you to be next. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's not a situation where you just sit there and wait on him. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where you sit still and be productive at the same time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get that confused on, you know what I'm saying? It's like
sitting still and being lazy.
Yeah. It's you still got responsibility. You still have things to do. You know what I'm saying? But look at where you are. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, so. But yeah, that's, man, in a nutshell, that's the whole situation, man. You know, yeah, that.
So what would be, you know, to close it out, what would be some encouraging words that you would give, you know, people that may be in jail now, or somebody that was falsely accused?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of things I didn't mention for the sake of time, but you know, I would say, you know, for those guys, you know, once they get out, I mean, you know, I did try to get my record expunged and everything. I would and get a pardon and everything from the governor. I would say still, you know, do your best to try that, to have a clean record, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, do everything you can do to better your situation, man. You know, like, because I'll say that's what I tried to do. Then, you know, that door was shut on me from the governor at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I would say still try to pursue that route too, you know, do your best to get a pardon where you got to do petitions and have thousands of signatures and stuff. Do that, and most definitely don't don't sit on your record like it's like it's holding you back from anything. You know, it's hard. Trust me, man. I didn't even have a felony, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, I experienced some shortcomings because of the felony. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, because of the misdemeanor I had. You know, but I can only imagine like the guys that have felonies and stuff where they go. I can't even really speak on that, but I can still say to them, you know what I'm saying, put your faith in God on your next steps and everything. It's still a lot of jobs out there where you can come up from. It's like make yourself marketable, make yourself high commodity and everything. You just have to do a lot more. You know what I'm saying, to be a great asset to the world, pretty much. You know, it's crazy. It's like with that, it's like being black twice, man. You know what I'm saying, and you gotta do a lot more, man. But you can't just sit on it. You know what I'm saying. You have to keep moving forward. Educate yourself some way, somehow. I know a lot of people won't believe in it, but like if your charge is not bad enough to the point where you can't go into the military, I would say, man, go into the military. You know what I'm saying? I know we at odds with, when I say us, us black people, we kind of at odds with the way the government is going, but at the same time, you're not only just defending your country, you're defending your families as well. So if you go into the military, make the best of it. Like, use it to your benefit, you know what I'm saying, to go to school, get whatever you need out of the military and everything, and retire and get paid for the rest of your life with that, you know what I'm saying? And that's just an option. It's plenty of different options, man, but most definitely, man, for these guys getting out of jail, falsely accused or not, and just most definitely stay hopeful and do your best to make your next move your best move. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's going to trade school or going to regular college, man. I think a lot of the main problems is like when the door get closed in our face, we feel like that's going to be every situation. You might get 12 to 20 doors closed in your face, but there's opportunity out there to rebuild ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether there's a falsely conviction or whether, these people have been rightfully convicted of a crime, life doesn't stop there. We gotta keep building, man.
Yeah. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on Liberating Intelligence and telling your story.
What's up?
And now it's only up from here.
Yeah, most definitely.
And that's a wrap for the interview.
All right, man. Appreciate you having me, man.
No doubt, man.
All right, bro.
Love you, man.
Love you too, man.